let me go over some of the misdemeanors that you apparently committed, allegedly, including, but not limited to, knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. Now, I was surprised to find out just in the last 3 years that the U.S. Capitol building is restricted space. You can't just walk into the Capitol building. Since when?
Well, since COVID. All right. So they
seriously?
Yeah. So the rules changed because that was during the lockdown period.
Okay. Yeah.
So they had that restriction on at the time.
Oh my gosh! So
Yeah.
it wasn't because Congress is in session. It's not because of any of that. It was just because of COVID?
No, the public is allowed to attend
That's what
and
I
watch
thought. We
Congress.
pay for the dump.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it was COVID and the there's so much background on the security that they had for that day anyway, as far as the what was denied, National Guard. I could spend an hour just talking about that, which obviously I won't do, but there's so much controversy behind that. There's so much back and forth. There's so much discrepancies in all of that, of who turned down the guard, who offered the guard, when did they do that, when did they do it? And even up to the point where they were trying to, even some of the higher powers, I'm not talking about Pelosi and such as that, but some of the good people were trying to even bring in the unscalable fencing that they put up afterwards, after the January 6th event.
Yeah.
They were trying to get that in because there was enough intel that something bad was going to happen. Had they done that, none of us would be sitting here right now today.
Right. Jeez. Amazing. All right, let me go through some of these other charges.
Yeah, I mean, this is
because we haven't
what a rap sheet, bro.
We haven't even scratched the surface yet of this guy. Disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds.
Except that one didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
So you're pleading innocent to that charge.
They hit everybody with this. See,
Did they?
all of the low-level misdemeanor defenders are hit with these 4 charges. So if you were a 65-year-old grandma walking through and you did 10 minutes worth of selfies in there, you never chanted, you never raised your voice, you didn't have a flag, maybe you were wearing a Trump hat or whatever, but if that's all you did, you still got these 4 basic charges. And the reason they do that is to scare you into pleading down to one of them so they can get you your 2 years probation, your $2,000 fine, 100 hours community service, and they're notching their gun belt towards their next, federal job promotion.
So what's a fine normally?
They typically range from $500 to $2,000 if you didn't do any damage.
But not a cent.
With all the frightening sentences that people have received, I bet a lot of people are okay with caving into that, right? I bet a lot of people just say, yeah, okay, I'll pay the fine.
Well, that's exactly what they do. And let me tell you, after you sit for 5 hours in leg chains in one of these, cages, all I could do was sit there and think,
would they actually put leg chains on you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They marched me in front of the judge in leg chains.
Yeah.
I can't. That's outrageous.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but they put your arms behind your back while other serious offenders got their wrists in the front.
Yeah, so I was tied up in the back, and then when the FBI delivered me to the federal courthouse and handed me off to the U.S. Marshals, there were other prisoners arriving, and I'm talking about the gangbangers, the meth dealers, all of that. They were all comfortably,
in the front.
And I'm jacked up in the back.
Was that because you were disorderly conducting business in a Capitol building? Is that what it was?
That didn't happen either.
That didn't happen?
No.
Okay.
Well, like
now,
the story, Steve.
I understand this did happen. Parading.
There it is.
Demonstrating. Or picketing in a Capitol building.
They left out milling. They left out milling.
milling?
Did leave out the milling. Were you milling or parading?
I was milling.
You were milling.
I was milling.
Okay.
See, I did some milling while I was doing my journalism.
I can't believe this.
So
unreal.
Even liberal reporters were and put up this tweet that I sent in, the Ryan Riley tweet, the full screen 8, the first one there. Even this liberal reporter for NBC News.
Is this the one that did the article on you?
The other one.
Okay.
The other one. This one right here.
Was it Ryan Riley that did the article on you this weekend?
Yes, he did. He's one of them.
All right, so if it wasn't for Steve Baker's language on January 6th before he entered the Capitol, and that evening, this case almost certainly wouldn't have been brought.
Pay attention to a couple of words there. Before I went to the Capitol, and then later that evening after I left the Capitol.
And the language you're talking about is one of the things is that you committed an incredible crime by calling Nancy Pelosi the B word.
I did.
Is that? Are you admitting to that?
Oh, I got news for you. If that's a crime, we're all going to be at Leavenworth for worse things.
Am I confessing to telling the truth? Yes, I am.
This is a free speech thing.
Oh man!
But
did they ask you about it this weekend? Did the FBI ask you why you called her that?
No, but they did in my interview 2 years ago. So they actually, because it's on video, and it was myself.
Yeah, you're not hiding it.
No, myself and another writer after we got back to our hotel late at night, we were doing a postmortem, had a couple of adult beverages, we're sitting around, we turned the camera on, and we're talking about it. And I said that I went into the hallway, into Pelosi, the speaker's hallway. And as soon as I saw that people were in there actually turning over chairs, tables, rifling through stuff and doing damage in her office, I got the heck out of Dodge. I immediately turned around and headed back the other way, which you can see on my own camera. And so he said something about they were destroying her office. I said, yeah. I said something to the effect of, and it couldn't have happened to a more deserving B word. And so the FBI brought that up to me, and I said to them, they said, why did you do that? And I said, because I wasn't in McConnell's office. And I said, if I'd have been in McConnell's office, I would have said it couldn't have happened to a more deserving bastard.